Last year, the Badgers' long trip in Big Ten play was to Southern California. Games against USC and UCLA. This time around, it was to the Pacific Northwest for a very late-night game on Wednesday evening in Eugene against the Oregon Ducks, and a Saturday afternoon matchup with Washington in Seattle. We'll have highlights from those games. We'll chat with Badgers senior Andrew Rohde, and we'll have our weekly chat with head coach Gard. All coming up on this week's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Rohde will inbound for the right corner, throws it into Winter, feeds Boyd, thought about it, turned it down. Winter will take it, right wing, and drill it. Nolan Winter for three. 22 to Boyd, high on the right, throws to Braden Carrington. He's open, right corner three, nailed it. Braden Carrington, a 40% shooter from distance, and it's 12-3 Wisconsin. Braden high on the right. Pounds a dribble, now snaps off a three, got it. Braden Carrington's second triple, 17-4 Wisconsin. Bounce pass to Nolan, right corner. Steinbach defends, feeds Carrington, got covered up by Wesley Yates right away. Braden off the wrap screen, three in the air. Braden book it, third three for Braden Carrington. Boyd will walk it back out high. Winter the high screen, Boyd driving, left lane line to the rim, layup is good. That's what he does. Carrington on the left wing for Wisconsin. Hoops around the ball screen, a Winter to throw to Nolan. He'll try a three left side, nailed it. Nolan Winter, his second three. Puts it back out near half court for Winter, 10 to shoot. Rohde out to Alexis, open three, right of the circle, good. Alexis Bielyauskas with his second triple. Deep three straight away, around the rim and out, no good. Rebound, Braden Carrington with a good box out. Here comes Braden, glides up the floor, left sideline for the Badgers. Carrington, he'll try a three, left of the circle, why not? Braden Carrington with his fourth three of the game. Rohde feeds Carrington for three, left side, good again. Another three for Carrington, he has 5 of them today. 23-point lead for the Badgers with 8:18 remaining. Carrington left side, why not three, try, good again. Braden Carrington back on fire, 69-43 Wisconsin. Boyd gets knocked down. Here's Rohde, drives off the right wing, jump stop in the lane, out to Braden, fakes the three, takes the three, makes the three. He has matched a career high, 7 3-point hits for Braden Carrington. Missed the jumper, Blackwell the rebound. 84-64 Wisconsin. Here's Carrington. Heat check three, bucket! 8 threes for Braden Carrington. 87-64 Wisconsin. With 2 minutes and 17 seconds to play. As a timeout taken, there'll be some subs. Oh, have yourself a day shooting the rock, Braden Carrington. 87-66. Wisconsin, a minute 43 to play. Carrington, another three, and that's 9 of them. A record-breaking day for Braden Carrington. 90-66, Wisconsin.
Set the standard. Set the standard. Let's go.
Nice bounce, Rapp. Rapp left lane line. Out to Blackwell. Snaps off a three. Right pocket. Book it.
Scores! Badgers win it in overtime. Wisconsin Badgers have won the Frozen Four championship. The Badgers advance to the Sweet 16. Off the backboard for two from Destiny Howell.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health and is brought to you by Hy-Vee and by Construction Business Group, by Gruber Law Offices, and by WEA Member Benefits.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. Unwelcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Wisconsin Badgers have won their 11th WCHA regular season championship. Play comes loose. Eden over to pick it up. Here's Eden coming in over the line. Breaking through. Backhander to goal. Man. What a beautiful goal. Wow. Cassie Hall gets the goal for the Badgers. Her 8th goal in the last 10 games. Layla with it. Looks for the outlet on the pass. Picks it up and fires it. Stick to stick, moving it in. Shapo, shot in the goal! Shapovalova rips it into the upper right-hand corner. Her 11th goal of the season, second tonight, and the Badgers lead it 6-0. They got McCarthy in front. Back out on top to Murphy with the drive. Shot in the goal! All right! It may have been tipped in out front. The drive from the point by Murphy, and Scannell may have tipped it in. Yeah. Eden with it. They got Shapovalova in front of the net. Out on top, over to KK Harvey. Harvey with it, drives it through top of goal. Yeah. That may have been tipped in front of the goal. It may have been tipped in by Shapovalova. Yep. Kirsten Sims over to Layla Edwards. Layla with it, shot in the goal! Oh, yes! Layla Edwards wins it for the Badgers as he got it through the pads of the goaltender. Ava Hills, and Wisconsin wins it in overtime.
In the third. Look out. Left field. Bye-bye softball. 3-run bomb by Blomberg. Couple of homers tonight. And this is now a one-run game.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. Equipment that powers through mud, dust, and extreme weather. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers.
We say this every year, but I'll say it again. Hard to believe just one home game left for the Wisconsin Badgers Wednesday night against the Maryland Terrapins. A lot of basketball after that, though. That's certainly the hope moving forward as we visit with head coach Greg Gard. We've talked many times, and it's worth repeating, about still being able to develop players as much as You bring in transfers. Some will be here multiple years, others just the one. I want to ask you about some of these guys like a Braden Carrington and Nick Boyd and Andrew Rohde. You brought them here for a reason.
Right.
But what have you learned about them along the way so far?
They're all three competitive. You know, I think Nick's, it's obvious. You know, that shows every time he steps on the floor. And you know what? All three have gotten better. You know, I think just in the short window and the time we've had him here, you know, Nick's made strides in his decision making, his knowledge of how to manage a team and control a game. I think Rohde has, you know, I've learned more about him in terms of his offensive game, and I think that's continued to evolve, and a much better defender than I thought he was coming in, and has gotten better. And then Braden, you know, we recruited him specifically for his veteran experience, knowing he had been in this league at Minnesota, and to come in and really give us just some backup depth from a defensive standpoint in the backcourt, and he's actually turned into a pretty good offensive punch coming off the bench. So all three of them have had the right mindset, and most importantly have been about winning and about what's on the front of their jersey, as much as the individual accolades come from time to time. But they've all helped this program, no doubt, and even, you know, all of them just for a year, but they've helped, and that's really how you operate in today's world. You operate year to year and don't get too consumed with looking down the telescope into the future, and they've all three done a good job.
It's interesting in talking with Braden Carrington and Andrew Rohde, because they are now known, you know, as guys who can defend you. And I asked Braden about it. I said, "Has it always been a part of your game?" He said, "No, I hated playing defense in high school." And Rohde saying that was not a strength. And then obviously a year with Coach Bennett, with Tony Bennett, and he's developed into that. How many guys have come in through the years, freshmen, whatever, who tell you that I'm about defense? I love defense. Or usually it's
Not
the other
many.
end of the floor,
Not
right?
Many. Not many. No, there haven't been many that really. If they're saying it, it's really lip service. It's really not true when you dig deep. But no, I think they understand. They all understand. You know, Nick obviously has played and had success. And a quote or a question I raised to him, you know, a week ago was, how many of you guys have played in an NCAA tournament? And Braden has not played in an NCAA tournament. Now he's going to get to do that. Rohde has not won a game in the NCAA tournament. Hopefully we're going to change that on his resume. So just those things that, you know, come with the success that we've had here, and them understanding how much of a commitment you have to make to get to be on a team, to get the team to the level where you can play in the postseason consistently. I think we take it for granted here, and we shouldn't do that, because it's not, like I said, I did a poll of the team, and there's not guys that hadn't been here, and there wasn't a lot of hands go up. And I went, who has played so many games in the NCAA tournament? Not a lot of hands stayed up, other than the guys that were in our room in years past. And obviously Nick has played deep into a tournament, but I think it's something that you look big picture. You know, we, like I said, we're a little spoiled here in terms of it, and I'm included right in that. And you start looking around the outside world, and it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is.
At the end of the day, the tournament, it's still basketball. It's still 20-minute halves and all that, but it's different in some ways. The you know, if it's for media commitments, different hotels, longer stays. In that regard, the Pacific Northwest trip, you guys were out west early in the season in maybe a small way or not so small way. Does that help? These guys have been through that. It's been a little different environment.
Yeah. I think anytime you can throw curveballs at them and shake things up a little bit, and get them out of the routine and make them uncomfortable, that's the only way you adapt to that. And I think the other thing is not making a big deal about it, no matter where we travel, you know, going to Oregon and Washington, or being in San Diego for a trip early in the season, wherever we get sent in the NCAA tournament, doesn't matter. You know, the hoops are 10 feet high, and court should be 94 feet long, and we just need to go play and play at a high level.
I was asking about three of the seniors. There's a fourth who's been here all along. I would imagine, I can only try to imagine the range of emotions that you and Michelle, everybody's going to feel. But as a guy in the program here, start to finish, that importance is something that isn't measured by statistics. It's all the other stuff that he understands how things are done here, and that helps the new guys.
Absolutely. I think retention is always priority number one, and it's not just of the Nolan Winters and the John Blackwells and the Jack Janickis. It's other people too that are important cogs in our program, important pieces, and Isaac's been a culture keeper. He's been in the gym since I probably carried him in a bassinet or a car seat when he was first born. As soon as he could walk and run around and not get in too much trouble, he was in the gym with me, and he traveled with me recruiting. So he's lived it his whole life. He understands it. There's a video out there I think it's going to surface of him reciting the lineups and yes. things when he was like 3 years old. So he knew the lineup. He could memorize the lineup before he knew the ABCs. So. And you have to have those. This is a unique and a special opportunity that we've had and our family has had, but you have to have those type of people in your program, the Jack Robinsons, the Ricardo Greppis, that are here for the right reasons and have great pride in the program and want to help the program in any way they can, whether they step on the floor for 38 minutes or for 38 seconds, to be able to help this program continue to be successful.
Future CEOs, future coaches, a lot of options in front of them,
yes,
right?
Yes. They'll all have a lot of options. Isaac will lead the charge in that. He's crushing it in grad school right now, doing an awesome job. So, he'll have options. He'll be highly sought after, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. We will take a break. We have more to come as we continue with this week's installment of the Badger Sports Report.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
Well, we talked to him in the preseason, and now that we've hit the stretch drive of the college basketball season, good time to circle back and revisit Andrew Rohde. One of the things, Andrew, I wanted to ask you about is as we talk, you're on a run right now where your assist-to-turnover ratio is like between 5-1 and 6-1. I mean, you're really distributing the ball. I know that's been a part of your game even going back to high school. But tell us about that, how your vision, how that has evolved in your basketball life. Because you're good at a lot of things, but I don't think that assist to turnover has been talked about enough by some people.
Yeah, I mean, that's been something that's kind of been harped on me since I was a little kid, just especially not turning the ball over. But, as I've gotten older, just more feel for the game, more experience, I've just learned where, the pockets and making those reads off ball screens. And especially in our offense with, the continuous ball screens, there's so many different gaps and things open like that. So just working with my guys and, I'm playing with amazing players who they make the shots. So I'm really just giving it to them and they're finishing the play. So
talk to you about the summer and you're adjusting to the pace. There's obviously more possessions than what you had at Virginia. Tell us about your progression there, just getting to a point where okay, I fit, this works, I really like this style.
Yeah, definitely. The summer was a little hard for me, just the up and down, all the up and down. I wasn't really used to that. I'm used to, sitting down playing defense for 30 seconds, and there's no, like we talked about, there's no wrong way. There's nothing wrong about that, but, just getting adjusted to it. My team has done a tremendous job of helping me, and the coaches obviously just bringing me along and, telling me to hum my shot and look for those transition early threes, which I wasn't, accustomed to. But, it kind of took some time, but yeah, now I feel like, I love the way we play. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of joy.
Tell us about, both the ACC and the Big Ten, the leagues are so big, there's so many teams, but there used to be, general statements made about styles, ACC versus Big Ten.
Right.
Is there much difference from what you experienced in Virginia to here just in league play?
Mm-hmm. I would say a lot. Just obviously both leagues are very athletic and, you play different teams who play different styles, but I would say just the biggest difference is the scouting and, with the Big Ten, it's kind of hard to explain, but there are some differences that, that I've noticed just going from the ACC to the Big Ten. And obviously both really good leagues, but it's been a lot of fun just getting to know both those and getting to experience that.
The detail of scouting, from the clips, your own, in the meeting rooms, to the coaches, step by step. You got some rookies here. You got some freshmen.
Yeah.
What is that like? Because I'm guessing, depending on the high school program, it's not quite as intricate, the scouting reports is what they are now?
Yeah.
What are those young dudes going through this year?
Definitely not. I mean, it looks like they're having a fun time playing the scout and, trying to be like the guys who we're playing against, ZK, Hayden, Lick, obviously AB not really has been on the scout team a lot, but no, they've been doing a great job, and I've had a lot of joy just, watching them develop just from the start, and because I know how it is coming as a freshman. Obviously, I was at St. Thomas, and they're at Wisconsin, bigger institution and things like that. So just watching them adjust and grow, they've been a tremendous help to our team. Night in, night out, they're trying to perfect that scout, and they're doing it to the best of their ability. And they've been great for us all year.
Your own adjustment, your own growth, from a really good program, obviously at St. Thomas, Virginia, to hear you're in the midst of a season. I don't know how much reflecting time you have, but if you get a moment or so, you're thinking, well, I've come a long way to where I am right now, playing these big-time games, big-time atmospheres. Right. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's definitely a blessing, and, just each stop has been a learning experience and a blessing in itself. So I'm just grateful. Coach talked about today is 7 games guaranteed left. So that kind of, pops on my head like, dang, this is all over soon. But, we're going to try to stretch it for as long as we can, and I've had so much fun playing with this group. So,
do you have obviously a different perspective being around, but it being, that last year where can you give yourself a moment to take it in each game? Like, okay, you're playing down at Champaign, you've got these, the game in Ann Arbor, obviously what's ahead.
Yeah.
Thinking, this is pretty good. You just capture every moment that you can.
Definitely. Especially when we go on the road, I'm kind of just going in and these are all places I've grown up watching on TV, and just to be able to play and be able to experience that and be in that fire, it's amazing. So,
John Blackwell talked about it, and Coach Gard mentioned this to you guys back in the summer. He's not excited about what you are; he's excited about what you can be. And JB is still kind of saying the same thing now. Where do you guys as a team, as much as you've already improved as a group, where do you think you can still get better here down the stretch?
Yeah, I think just the first thing that comes to mind is defensively. Obviously, we got a high-powered offensive team, and there still needs to be adjustments and improvements made regardless, even, at the end of the season. But I say just defensively, we can be such a good defensive team when, everybody's bought in, and we just got to, clean up a few things, little slip-ups here and there, but when we all buy in and we're talking to each other and communing each other, it's a lot of fun playing defense. I know that sounds crazy, but it is, especially with these guys. So.
Has it always been fun for you to play defense?
Not always.
See, Braden Carrington admitted that in high school he hated playing defense, and then you learn that's kind of a ticket to get on the floor.
No, definitely. So. I say I learned that my sophomore year. I learned to love. You got to love it. You have to.
A little coach named Bennett maybe help out a little bit with that.
He helped out a lot.
All right, appreciate it. He's Andrew Rohde. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health and is brought to you by Hy-Vee and by Construction Business Group, by Gruber Law Offices, and by WEA Member Benefits.
Just one home game left for the Wisconsin Badgers. That'll be Wednesday night against the Maryland Terrapins. And then the regular season comes to an end Saturday afternoon at Mackey Arena as Wisconsin takes on the Purdue Boilermakers. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Every farmer wants to up their uptime, so we purposefully designed our tractors and implements to keep you in the field. Tailored for your operation, Case IH tractors are intuitive to use, easy to maintain, packed with the latest tech, and backed by dealer support you can trust. Because Case IH equipment isn't just built to work, it's built to work for you. Case IH, built by farmers.
Have you heard people say women's sports are having a moment?
It's not a moment.
Moments are fleeting. They come and they go.
This isn't just a moment.
But success is nothing new at Wisconsin.
History in Wisconsin.
There's a history here.
Age championship.
So let's celebrate women's sports for what it really is.
It's not a moment.
It's not a moment.
It's a movement.
And you're invited to come along for the ride.
UW Health, proud title sponsor of Badger Women's Sports.